cold in here. Hi everybody, it is Brooke. I'm going to be doing a writing vlog today. Let's hope this works. The other thing I'm going to also try to do is listen to some more music that'll work with my book. Right now I've got almost the entire soundtrack to the Netflix show called Eden on there because it's the one that's fitting the vibes the most. And then there's a few songs from I think it's called Solar Punk and Farming playlist on Spotify. And a lot of it does do really good, but there's not a lot of action or serious scenes, serious sounding songs for scenes. So I'm going on a hunt for some music. I was looking a little bit at God of War because of the inspiration a little bit with the father-son dynamic, except this one's father-daughter. I'm going to be listening to a little bit of The Last of Us, and then we'll see what else I think will sound pretty good. Probably try Unravel. Ori and the Blind Forest, maybe those two would be really good. If there's any more that you think would be really good for a story that's aesthetically very nature and beautiful and happy and eco-friendly, but isn't all the time lo-fi, because that is my biggest struggle, is finding pretty much lo-fi music everywhere. And I love lo-fi, but it's not meant for this book fully. Almost entirely not meant for this book. It's too chill for this book. But I still want the sounds of something more airy. You get it? Hopefully you get it. So if you have any suggestions about what would be a good soundtrack, I'm leaning more towards video game soundtracks right now. But if you have a movie or a show, because like I said, I was listening to Eden, feel free to drop it in the comments. I am always here to listen to more music. Listened to a little bit of Unravel. Loving it. There's gonna be so much going on to that playlist for my book. Loving it. I gotta do some dishes and maybe do one other chore. I don't know, maybe Ori, see what's on Ori. Probably listen more when I'm on a walk with Christopher. It's usually where I get a lot of my thinking going on when it comes to my book. So maybe listen to some more Last of Us, maybe. We'll see. I'm figuring this out. So today has taken a turn a little bit. I started off my morning pretty normal, my typical morning, and I did a round of writing, my usual. Then I took a break so I can do chores, which I did dishes, and usually I can do one other chore with dishes, but today was not that day, so I had to have a seizure right after dishes, and that took me out. My legs, hi Bubba's. My legs are very weak. For about 10 minutes I couldn't even walk. They were just non-existent. So now they're working, but to not its best capacity. And my brain hasn't fully recovered. It's still slower than usual. Functional neurological disorder, FND, and it's kind of thrown my world for a loop. So I had it for almost 3 years now, and I typically deal with seizures 3 to 5 times a day, and they're relatively 8 to 12 minutes if I'm on a bad day or I'm being a woman. I can go anywhere from 15 minutes to 30-minute long seizures. I also have tics. They are not as prevalent anymore. Once the seizure started, I started off with tics. and that's been 3 years by now. The seizures usually are what takes me out because I usually have like symptoms after a seizure. I sometimes deal with major brain fog after. I sometimes deal with limb weakness. It's typically my left arm and my left leg, but a lot of times it is both legs, unfortunately. So I have a cane and I have a wheelchair to work with those, and we're hoping to get me a walker for the days that I am weak but can still walk. So there's that. And I also get dystonia. Most of the time it's in my left arm. I don't know why, so I'll get stuck like this most of the time. He's so cute. He's just a bite. Thinking is hard. Processing stuff is very hard, and I start to not make a lot of sense, and I get confused very easily. So unfortunately, that does affect my everyday life. The weakness does usually occur. So I felt like, hey, disabled girl, I'm home all the time because I'm disabled. Just put it in the vlog. So hopefully no one feels alone if they're having a bad day, because I know sometimes I feel alone when I'm going through that. Writing isn't really bad when it comes to bad days, unless it's really bad days where it's just I want to sleep and I have nothing to give or thinking is too hard. So it's just less, not necessarily productive, it's just less to give. It's just a little bit slower to do. I'm gonna try to get one more writing session in, one more 30 minutes, and hope that I make it to 1,000 words, because that's what I like to hit about every day. But if I don't, I'm gonna give myself grace, because today is apparently not the day. And we'll go from there. If only my brain could work. This is not my day. But you understood and say goodbye. I did not make it to 1,000 like I usually and try to do, but I'm not pushing myself more than I honestly already have. I made it a little bit over, like barely over 900, and I was just looking at it and it took me forever to get there, and I'm just thinking, we're not gonna do this. I'm not doing this. I did what I could. I'm giving myself grace, as I should on days like this. So we're sticking there. Thank you for joining me on this unintended ride of a day. If you guys are disabled and enjoy writing and you guys have your own little routine, let me know how it is for you. This is still a good, I would consider this is still a better than my worst days. If I had a worst day, this wouldn't even be happening. I pushed it because I was actually more capable to do that, but I'm not pushing it more than I should, and so I'm not pushing it more than I can. So I'm gonna probably stop here and watch a movie or show, maybe read if I think I am capable of processing anything that's on the page. We'll see, and go from there. Thank you for joining me here, and I hope to see you again. Bye.